score against reliably because there's the illusions to worry about. If you get Phantasm off, how do you know which one is real? That takes a few precious seconds. Also, he can just be relocated in the middle of the fight. We'll see Xiao 8 coming in now with the haste rune. YYF just revealing himself. Gem is there. Blink, stun. The follow-up comes. Pulled back into the tether. Blown up by the Wisp Spirits. Another easy kill for LGD. They still have relocate if they need it. They can use it. And they're just going to start sieging away at this tier 2 top.
Yeah, IG are going to be able to easily defend this. LGD, despite having these great team fights, they don't really have a strong pushing lamp to back it up. So even when they get a pick off here, they win a team fight. We're not seeing a lot of towers being taken. In fact, they've only taken the one tier 1 tower at top, which was up against the off-lane Bounty Hunter, which is the easiest tower for them to take. So they're just back to farming. LGD's plan is to just get up these BKBs, get up the mech on the Wisp, and just get up these strong mid to late game items.
At the rate we're going, DDC's mech won't be that far behind Chuan's. Chuan, well, actually, there's your buckler recipe, but still needs the mech recipe. Just hasn't really had... He had that good early gank bottom, but since then, just keeps on dying, and it's largely because of Xiao 8 and his movement on the Nyx.
Yeah. We're going to see, wow, completed BKB for the Chaos Knight. So the item progression for LGD is just looking quite a bit more impressive than IG. The gold is still more or less even between the two teams. We're not seeing a big difference, but I feel LGD, it's just the gold going to the right places. The BKB on Chaos Knight, the Nyx Assassin with the Blink Dagger. They've got the map control with this gem now. They're the ones controlling the pace of this game.
It's not that IG is out of the game. They can still take this late with things like Inner Beast, Roar, Demonic Purge. These spells scale well into late game. You always have track gold. And you do have a Gyrocopter. If the Gyrocopter gets big enough, he can deal with Chaos Knight late game as long as he gets his BKB off. But one of the best heroes to deal with illusion-based carries. But problem is, it's going to be a long road before they're at that point.
Yeah, and you can see just IG, they see this BKB on Silo, they're like, okay, you take this tier 1 bottom tower. We don't want to fight you. We don't want to have anything to do with that. As basically, well, LGD can finally now take towers because of this BKB.
Xiao 8 just hunting the jungle creeps. Even Chuan's creeps can't catch a break this game. Xiao 8 with the early gem, controlling the map beautifully, and I'm feeling very claustrophobic if I'm IG. Taking a look at the map and the vision they have, it's not much. And up against CK Wisp, you want to have as much vision as possible to see any kind of ganks coming in. And IG, look at the defensive posture, just all clustered around the tier 1 mid.
And the problem is, you're defensive as you want to be. Hookshot can catch you from anywhere. You've got a Blink Nyx Assassin who can just go for Blink Impales. He doesn't really put himself in that much danger because of the Carapace, and it's so hard for IG to even play defensively.
It's such a good tactical position for LGD because if IG tries to go bottom, they have to send their entire team, or Wisp, CK relocate on the heroes that remain mid. And that means when everybody goes bottom, they just push mid instead. LGD just basically toying with IG, and I think now really showing that if they don't fully know how to exploit CK Wisp as well as the Western teams, they're improving at it a lot.
Yeah, this is a very, very perfect play coming out from the Wisp CK. Had a really fast level 6. We're seeing LGD just control the flow of the game here. Despite having that early game deficit, they did not win the laning stage. That was where IG came off slightly ahead with the better offlaner. The Bounty Hunter just sort of getting more XP, more out of that. But now that we're getting ourselves into the mid game, LGD with CK being just used to perfection. And as always, Xiao 8 on that Nyx Assassin, on any solo mid, just controls the game.
It's very unusual. The name Director 8, it started off actually as sort of a joke about how LGD would throw early and then he would direct them to sort of this comeback victory, and it was all a part of the script to make things more exciting. But nowadays, it's just him directing the flow of the game and doing it beautifully. He's under cover of Vendetta, hunting in the Radiant jungle. And meanwhile, Sylar, DDC, they're pushing bottom. What do you do? Gods, if you're IG, they're being forced to react, and their lineup was kind of built around pushing early towers, dictating the flow of the game, and getting a lot of track kills. We're not seeing that.
Yeah, I don't know what the backup plan necessarily is here. I guess they're getting okay farm. BKB on the Gyrocopter and the Ag Scepter being picked up by Ferrari is kind of like their next go-to plan. They're going to slow down that Aghanim Scepter on Ferrari by actually picking up a gem, so they realize they need to get some map control back of their own. I love this Observer at bottom lane, although it is going to get dewarded. I've never actually seen that placement before.
It's like just out of tower range.
Yeah.
And sees so much of the lane. Yeah, I like it a lot as well. You just compare the supports in this game, and I think that's really the story, is DD, 4 staff up on your Keeper of the Light, mech almost complete on DDC, and then you look at Face Shadow Demon, earn, and that's it. Couldn't even buy the gem for 430, and normally the Chinese teams, and in general most pro teams, they don't want the solo mid to be buying the gem. They'd rather the supports do it, but they're just not farming well.
Yeah, DD picks himself up a 4-staff. Everything looking good for LGD. They're up 15 kills to 7. This is game 1, and we've been saying all they have to do is win 1 game, and they're guaranteed to go to the playoffs. IG, they're guaranteed to go to the playoffs, but they'd much rather be in that second place position. And hey, they'd love to just win this 2-0, beat down a team like LGD, get back some of that pride.
Well, the pride can't be flowing right now because they're having a lot of trouble relocate. Coming on to show, he goes for a haste room, but gets impaled. Hook as well. It's a party. And Zhou didn't invite LGD, but they're crashing it anyway. They'll find an easy kill there, and that delays the BKB. Just picked up the Mithril Hammer.
Yeah.
Pretty disastrous time to die, to be honest.
Yeah, and with CK, they're back top. They're actually going to look for a pick-off here on Faith. It looks like they'll get Impale. Does get dodged by a self-disruption, but...
Delaying the inevitable.
Yeah.
There's your Tether Stun. Faith, he'll be melting. Chaos Bolt brings him down, and what do they do now? They can't defend this tier 2. Roche is easily next if LGD wants it. Now 3k gold up on Sylar, getting fat.
Yeah, tier 2 gone, and I don't even think they care too much about Roche. They're doing so well in these team fights that if they can just keep getting pick-off after pick-off, they'll be perfectly satisfied with that. Zhao Wei gets himself a value booster, one of the sort of most cost-efficient items for any hero as far as raw HP goes, and this is going to make him tankier, harder to kill, and...
A value booster.
Yeah.
Now we've heard it all. Zhao Wei, he'll blink towards the mid lane. They'll continue to keep the lanes pushed out, and they have a good lineup just for split pushing. Keeper of the Light, Clockwork Rockets, and CK Wisp. All the lanes can constantly be pushed in, and IG, it really limits their ability to get out on the map and actually ward, which you have the gem on 430. He even bought it for himself. You get this not only to spot the Nyx, but to keep the map control up, and they can't even do that because all the lanes are constantly pushing in. They'll go in now. They pull YYF into the tether, but actually backing off, has the BKB, just picked up a fresh, shiny Reaver. Chop. Chop. Once YYF. Can't bring him down yet. No, in the end, the send back from Chuan will save his life. Still going into Sylar. Wants another kill. Can he find it? Not able to yet. Eats a roar. Oh my goodness, it's an absolute slideshow, but 430 doing what he can in the middle of this fight. He'll back off for the time being. Xiao Wei jumping in again. They blow up YYF in the end. He was sent back. He ends up dying. On the backlines, DDC hunts down the Shadow Demon, kills him with the Wisp Balls, and now it's time for a tier 2 mid.
Yeah, for LGD, it wasn't the cleanest fight of theirs, but Zhao Wei goes in for a blink to her Impale and absolutely just...
Blew him up.
Yeah, blows up IG, take out the supports, and IG, even with an okay-ish fight, they didn't stand a chance. The item deficit is just too big right now.
They're not killing Sylar either, and despite CK not being the best hero in terms of his farm rate, he's not dying. He's 137 CS. Yeah. He's also preventing Gyrocopter from farming, and now Sylar getting close to a Heart of Tarask. At that point, you just can't kill him.
Yeah, and I just don't feel that IG... I think the items have come too late. The BKB on Gyrocopter, the Aghanims on the Beastmaster, which has just been picked up, and the Mech on Chen. They needed these items when these first team fights were happening. Like, well, maybe not the Aghs. That's obviously much more of a luxury item, but yeah. The Mech, the BKB, these things could have come up a lot sooner for IG if they wanted to.
I just really like the way LGD has played this. Every time early game when they would let IG force the fights, but then they would have TPs ready. They had a great defensive lineup to punish tower dives, and they haven't forced the issue too much. We saw some of the Asian teams were trying to be really aggressive and greedy with relocate ganks, but this is really when CK Wisp are most effective. When you mostly use it as a reactive spell, you'll go for that one relocate gank if it's a sure bet, but the threat of relocate often better than actually using the spell itself.
Yeah, no, definitely agree. Yeah, and once again, it's the 3-2 split with CK off on their own. The other 3 LGD heroes grouped up, and how do you react to this if you're IG? It's difficult. You can't go on the 3 heroes because with CK go in, and if you look to go on the Wisp CK, well, they can just relocate out, maybe sack the Wisp, or they bring in rotating heroes. If
you can even kill Sylar, which
yeah.
is a tall order at this point, because your Gyrocopter actually does almost no damage. YYF, he's your utility bounty hunter. He's not particularly farmed. They're going to go in on Joe, and oh my goodness, they just blow him up. They were actually all smoked up heading towards the bottom lane, but the backlines just get picked off. Now I get my Gyrocopter notification.
Now we're going to see Wisp get blown up at bottom lane, though. He does not stand a chance here.
Well, DDC, he'll go down, but it's only a Wisp.
Yeah. That was the smoke gank, like you said. They were going bottom looking to pick off the Wisp CK because they know, hey, there's 3 heroes mid, 2 bottom. We can't go on the 3 because Wisp CK go in. Let's go on the 2. They don't have any backup, but Wisp CK, they found the pick off. The Clockwork hookshot, Gyrocopter goes down, and that is Zhou's 7th death at 28 minutes.
I mean, I don't want to pick on him too much, but you really do have to question the early helm of the Dominator because they're up against Keeper of the Light and Clockwork, who's maxing rockets anyway. Hard to push into that, and something like a helm of the Dominator, their lineup wasn't really built to just sit back and farm. Not up against CK Wisp. They needed to be grouping up and fighting early, and the BKB just does so much more for you than the helm.
Yeah, it seems to me like the helm is great if you're going for that late game sort of farm fest, but that's not at all what IG's draft and strategy was. Beastmaster, Bounty Hunter are there. You go fast drums, you go fast BKB. Either way, you need something that gives you tankability.
And we'll see if they can actually take this Roche fight. They'll try, but it's going to be tough. Xiao Wei lurking on the high ground. He actually eats Aurora, I believe, but got force-staffed away. He'll be okay. Now coming back in is your CK Wisp. There's your Phantasm. Sylar going to work, slicing off heads like it's his job, which for right now it is. They've taken down 3. They want Chuan. Can they find him? Hook comes through middle lane. It'll catch YYF, traps him in with Yao, but actually Yao is dropping pretty fast. He needs a bailout here. He'll get it from Xiao8 and DDC. Relocate. They'll pick off the last survivor. Nobody stands. Nobody withstands the onslaught of the LGD squad, and this is Roche. This might be game.
Yeah, it's a team fight. I would not be surprised at all if IG just tap out, call GG on that, because that fight went so horribly wrong for them. They'll look at some of these LGD items. They'll see a level 16 Chaos Knight with a BKB heart, and then he wins that fight. That's another 1k gold. Chen buys back. This to me is IG throwing in the towel.
Yeah, almost throwing in the towel. What does this buyback accomplish?
I think that's just Chuan saying, okay, game's over. I'm going to buy back.
I'd be willing to bet a lot of money that they're not even talking about this game anymore. It's talking about what they did wrong, what they can do better for game 2.
They're using this time to get some breathing room, looking for, and just to discuss what they want to do in game 2. And yeah, exactly. I definitely agree. I don't think that it doesn't seem to me that they think they're winning this game, because there's no reason you'd want to use a Chen buyback there.
Well, he can take over one of those lane creeps. The good news for IG is they might be able to dominate some mega creeps, because I think that's next on the agenda for LGD. Taking the base, breaking the base, Dagon picked up by Xiao8. Not an item he would normally get, but when you're this far ahead, why not?
Yeah. Why the hell not? You can burst down almost anyone on the Radiant
Even
team.
the Shadow Demon. That'd be such a great hero to just blow up.
Beastmaster, I guess, the tankiest hero that's kind of hard to kill with this fast Aghanim. But I really like Ferrari's played this game. To me, he's been the most stable player who's done his role really well. Just the rest of IG, there's been some gaps.
End of the day, he's a Beastmaster. Beastmaster can't win the game by himself. You can have some good early ganks, but up against LGD's lineup, you need some help from your team. And it's not a hero like, I don't know, the Invoker or the TA who can just snowball completely out of control. You can control the tempo, but your team has to pick up the slack.
Yeah, and it just hasn't happened. LGD, on the other hand, they have just this well-oiled machine. They work so well. There's such great synergy between the players. It's one of the few teams who are sort of one of the best teams in the world, and there's no real standout star players even when you look at the team. They've just got really solid, all-around players all over their lineup.
It's a very quiet team in a lot of ways, and you compare that to a team like IG, 430, pretty vocal, outspoken player. DK, they've got ROTK, and, I mean, Sylar, Xiao8, Yao. These are some of the, at least publicly, some of the quietest and sort of mildest-mannered players on the Chinese scene.
Well, here they are making a statement with their Dota rather than their actual personality.
Let the play do the talking. Well, Xiao8, he's got the personality. He saves it for the dating show. They'll go in now. Sylar gets disrupted. His illusions might be the best weapon on the side of IG. Will it be enough? They're actually chipping away at him rather quickly. He'll be driven back. Well,
he's got a heart, so it's, well, any chip it's just that. Chip damage, and then, well...
and then he paints in the cracks.
Dire's top tower is under
And now,
attack.
LGD. They'll go again. No rush here. They can slow siege it.
Yeah, they'll probably just want to not really look to go for a big initiate. And if you're sort of diving into tier 4 towers, you get roared under these towers, you take a lot of damage to 2-3 towers hitting on you. Not to mention BKB's picked up on the Radiant team. Keeper of the Light with a BKB.
DD Dota.
Oh my god.
They'll jump in now. Xiao8, he actually blinks in. Faith gets pushed forward in the middle of the fray. Xiao8 on the run. Can he get out? He won't. The gem hits the deck, but Sylar has a BKB. He's popped his Phantasm. He's going to work. Can he find more kills? He's actually being completely neutered by his own cogs. BKB is down. I think they just want to hit the racks here, but not the best fight for LGD.
They pulled the Phantasm and just sort of was running around like little lost puppies there, but LG, they finally find what they're after. It's the Raxes. They'll get these here, it looks like. Maybe actually... Well, IG, they're just missing Shadow Demon, so maybe they can look to make a fight here.
Sylar's still got an Aegis, though. That's going to be trouble. He doesn't have a BKB. YYF gets pulled in, and the crits. The crits are too much. Gods, I actually want to point out in that fight, I'm pretty sure that DD actually force-staffed Shadow Demon in the middle. They'll go in now into show, pulling him back in to the tether. Doesn't even get off his BKB. Actually was on cooldown. Didn't even see it earlier. DDC on the run. Can he get out? He should be fine. YYF now trapped in the cogs. These cogs are no fun for anyone. Not fun for LGD, not fun for IG, and certainly not fun for YYF. He'll take a spill, and IG, they'll tap out, but it's been over for a while.
Yeah, it really feels like that. LGD, very, very convincing team fight, and that's really where they excel. Their mid-game team fight, after they get past the laning stage, it's not that their laning stage is bad, it's that their drafts don't really cater for the laning stage. It's all about having these momentum-based heroes. You get those 10 to 15-minute team fights. You have a Nyx Assassin to control the game, and they just did this so well. With CK, we haven't seen it from LGD, but now we have, and it looks good.
For LGD, it's like you said, I feel their mid-game execution is their strong point, and it's just better movement, to be honest. You look at IG, that 4 hero smoke top, only one hero on the map so early, kind of a predictable smoke in a lot of ways, and then diving the tower against Clockwork, against Nyx Assassin, against Wisp Relocate. Very dangerous lineup to go aggressive into.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it just didn't really work out for IG. They needed to get more out of the bounty hunter pick. It was just a number of things. We go on and on about the gyrocopter build, but it really cost IG a lot. I feel they almost... Sure, you want to get aggressive and be very proactive when you've got the bounty hunter, but they also needed to wait out for the key items. The Chen mech especially.
Yeah, and Chuan kept on getting picked off. Part of that is just credit to Xiao 8.
Yeah.
Found him repeatedly in the jungle, and even when Chuan wasn't dying, he was worried about getting picked off. LGD take a convincing game 1. I'm pretty sure we're going to see Wisp either banned or picked by IG right away in game 2.
At least in the second stage. That was the thing that caught him really by surprise. It was like Wisp CK 4th and 5th pick.
Nice pocket strategy from LGD, guys. They'll take game 1, but it is a best of 3. Winner of this will be your second place team in Group A, heading to the playoffs. It's the Dota 2 Super League, $160,000 and change in prize money. A lot of prize money, a lot of pride at stake as well for IG. Can they bounce back, or will they get 2-0 KO'd by LGD? We'll take a quick break, guys, and then we'll come back and we'll find out after that. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for game 2